The spring festival is approaching, yet the temperature has abnormally soared to 30 to C. But I am frantically hoarding down jackets, food, and generators. Everyone laughs at me, calling me crazy. Only I know that in a week, the temperature will plummet to 60 C. A massive blizzard will hit, and all power and water will be cut off. In my previous life, I foolishly trusted a scumbag and my best friend. They scammed me out of all my demolition compensation and eventually locked me outside in the blizzard. I froze to death. But in this life, I built a constant temperature fortress and hoarded years' worth of supplies. On the day the extreme cold descends, while they are crying and begging for help in the snow, I will be eating hot pot in my 25C villa, singing songs on the eve of the 2026 New Year. The weather is unusually hot, soaring up to 30 to C. I am sitting in an air-conditioned room, yet my fingertips are trembling from the chill. The demolition compensation agreement in my hand is crumpled tightly. It's not an illusion. I have truly been reborn. In my past life, it was exactly this kind of abnormal warm winter. My family's old house was demolished, compensating me with a full 12 million RMB holding the agreement. I ran to Lindsay's company like an idiot. I smiled and said, "We're rich now. We won't have to squeeze into a rented room anymore. And we won't have to argue over daily expenses." Lindsay's eyes lit up. He grabbed my hand tightly, smiling gently yet hypocritically. "You're the best. Once I finish my project, I'll take you to Northern Europe to see the auroras, and to Iceland to see the snow. We'll travel the whole world." I believed him. I believed that fleeting tenderness in his eyes. I believed those illusory promises slipping from his lips. I handed my bank card over to him. The password was our anniversary date. I thought this was the beginning of our happiness. I never expected that, just moments later, he would post a photo with my best friend, Suman, showing the two of them cuddling on a sofa. And what Suman was holding in her hand was exactly my bank card. The caption read, "After all the twists and turns, I can finally give you the life you want." I looked for him like a madwoman, completely ignoring the bizarre changes in the weather. The temperature experienced a cliff-like drop, plummeting from 30 to C down to 20 C in an instant. Right after that, a rare, massive blizzard swept across the entire city. Heavy snow poured down for a whole day and night. The roads froze over, power lines were crushed, and all water and electricity were cut off. The entire city was plunged into darkness and bitter cold. I remembered Lin Ji had bought a small apartment in the suburbs, claiming it would be our future marital home, holding onto a final shred of hope. I trudged through the thick snow, heading toward the suburbs. The snow had piled up to my knees, and the freezing wind scraped my face like knives. I walked for 4 whole hours, and finally reached that apartment, only to find the password had been changed. The security camera at the door was pointed right at me, cold and glaring. I pounded on the building's door with all my might, my voice hoarse, my throat hurting from the freezing air. "Lin Ji, open the door. It's me, Suwan. Please open the door." The only response was the howling wind and faintly the sound of laughter. It was the laughter of Lin Ji and Su Man. I leaned against the icy door, begging desperately. My fingers were stiff from the cold, having almost lost all sensation. "Lin Ji, please, let me in." From inside the apartment came Su Man's coquettish voice, laced with undisguised mockery. "Lin Ji, listen. She's still calling out. So pathetic, but who told her to be so stupid? Delivering the money right to our door. Did she really think you'd spend your life with her?" Lindsay's voice echoed from the other side, so cold it held absolutely no warmth. "Ignore her, let her freeze to death." so she won't bother us in the future. Anyway, the money is already ours. We'll take a flight out tomorrow and leave her here to rot. The chilling wind grew fiercer. The temperature had dropped to 60 C. My consciousness began to blur. My body stiffened bit by bit, until I finally lost all sensation completely. Forever. Stopped in that harsh winter night at 60 C. I snapped back to reality. The chill in my fingertips slowly dissipates. Looking at the compensation agreement in my hands, the softness in my eyes vanishes entirely. All that remains is an icy resolve. Early the next morning, I get up and deliberately put on a black mask, a hat and sunglasses, covered in layers. I ensure nobody can recognize me. Only after making sure everything is secure do I drive to the demolition office. The collection process goes smoothly. After verifying my documents, the staff asks me to sign and take a photo. I keep my head down the entire time, trying my best to avoid the camera. The moment I get the bank card, I feel no excitement whatsoever. This card is the foundation of my rebirth. It is my capital to survive the upcoming harsh winter. I don't go home right away. Instead, I drive to a building materials market in the suburbs. I am going to build an indestructible, constant temperature fortress, stockpile enough supplies, and safely survive this extreme cold apocalypse that will last for years. I walk straight into a shop specializing in thermal insulation materials. I find the boss. My tone decisive. Boss, I need the best thermal break aluminum doors and windows, and the thickest vacuum glass. The more, the better. And deliver it as fast as possible. The boss is stunned, thinking he heard wrong. Miss? What did you say? What do you need so much for? I have my uses, you don't need to ask. Just deliver the goods. I take out my bank card. I'll send you the address shortly. Have your guys send it over ASAP. I'll pay extra for shipping. As long as it's fast. Money is no object. When the boss sees me, swipe my card to pay the deposit without hesitation. He immediately smiles and agrees. All right, miss. Don't worry, I'll arrange the delivery today. I guarantee it'll reach you at top speed. I won't delay your business. After sorting out the insulation and windows, I go buy several high-power diesel generators, dozens of barrels of diesel fuel, as well as plenty of candles, flashlights, and batteries. By the time I finish, it's already afternoon. My stomach is growling. Just as I'm about to find a place to eat, my phone rings. The caller ID says Lin Ji. Looking at those two words on the screen, a cold smirk forms on my lips. I press the answer button, deliberately making my tone sound innocent and sweet. Gee, what made you think of calling me? On the other end of the line, Lindsay's tone carries an imperceptible probe, mixed with a bit of forced gentleness. Wan, I heard your family's old house got demolished. You must have gotten a lot of compensation, right? I sneer inwardly. Sure enough, he found out. Su Man probably told him. After all, Su Man had always had her eyes on my demolition money. I deliberately sigh, my voice full of grievance and helplessness. Yes, it was demolished. But they didn't pay much. Only a few $100,000. It'll be enough for us if we live frugally. A few $100,000, Lin Ji is visibly taken aback. But he quickly regains his gentle tone. A few $100,000 is still a lot. Wan, you should save that money. We still need to buy a house and get married. By the way, Wan, I have something to tell you. I have a project on my end, and I need some capital turnover. Could you lend me your compensation money first? Once the project makes a profit, I'll pay you back double. Then we can go to Northern Europe to see the auroras. Sound good? Hearing those familiar lines from his mouth, I almost laugh out loud. In my past life, he used this exact same rhetoric to swindle all my compensation money. In this life, he wants to repeat his trick. Pure wishful thinking. I pretend to be very conflicted. But I've already put the money into a fixed deposit. I can't withdraw it. I really can't lend it to you. I'm sorry. Lin Ji on the other end instantly turns cold. His gentleness vanishes without a trace. Wan, what do you mean? It's just a few 100,000 and you refuse to lend it to me? We are a couple. And this is how you treat me. It's not that I refuse to. I really have no way. I deliberately soften my voice. But my eyes hold absolutely no warmth. Just wait a bit. I'll give it to you when the deposit matures, okay? Lin Ji stays silent for a moment. His tone easing slightly, but still laced with impatience. Fine, I get it. But Wan, don't you dare lie to me. If I find out, you're hiding the money on purpose to avoid lending it to me. We are done. How would I dare lie to you? I reply with a smile, the mockery in my tone practically overflowing. Without waiting for his response, I hang up the phone directly, tossing the phone onto the passenger seat. The tenderness in my eyes completely fades away, leaving only a cold resolution. Lin Ji. Su man, your good show has only just begun. Over the next few days, I fully activate my hoarding mode. Shuttling between major supermarkets, shopping malls, and wholesale markets, frantically buying supplies. The city is still experiencing this abnormal warm winter. Everyone is rushing to buy iced drinks, air conditioners, and fans. No one cares about the bizarre weather. And absolutely no one believes that a deadly harsh winter is about to strike. Experts on TV broadcast news every day, stating confidently that the recent abnormally high temperatures are just normal climate fluctuations, and that there's no need to worry. They say this heat wave won't last long, and predict temperatures will return to normal in a week. Looking at the faces of the experts on TV, I find it laughable. I pay no mind to these false reassurances. Pushing the largest shopping cart through every corner of the supermarket. In the fresh food section, I buy huge amounts of meat. Pork, beef, mutton, and chicken. I buy hundreds of pounds of each. In the grain and oil section, I am even more merciless. I buy 50 bags of rice, each weighing 25 kilograms, enough for me to eat alone for years. I buy 30 bags of flour, 20 large jugs of cooking oil, salt, soy sauce, vinegar, sugar, and various seasonings. I fill an entire cart with spices, and even buy several boxes of hot pot base and spicy stew base. Even in the apocalypse, my meals will be flavorful. In addition to that, I stock up on a massive amount of medicine, cold medicine, fever reducers, antibiotics, and various common prescription drugs. In the post-apocalyptic world, health is the ultimate capital. I cannot afford to be careless. But the most crucial things are thermal supplies, down jackets, thermal underwear, wool sweaters, cashmere pants. I buy plenty of everything, choosing the thickest and warmest styles available. Also several thick goose down comforters, silk quilts, cotton blankets, and plenty of heating pads. And electric blankets, even if it hits 100°C. I will live warmly and comfortably in my fortress. Just as I fill a cart, a sharp scolding rings out from behind me, laced with impatience and mockery. Su-Wan, are you crazy? Buying all this stuff, especially these down jackets and blankets, is your brain waterlogged? Do you know what the weather is like right now? It's over 30 degrees outside. Are you buying these things to wear in your next life? I turn around. Sure enough, it's Lin Ji and Su Man. Lin Ji is frowning, his face looking terrible, his eyes full of annoyance. Su Man is leaning against his chest, wearing heavy makeup. She looks at me with eyes full of mockery and disdain. It seems they came to the wholesale market to buy luggage for their trip to the southern hemisphere, and just happened to bump into me. I don't get angry. Instead, I simply smile. My tone is calm. What I buy is none of your business, right? I'm spending my own money. Not yours. Your money? Su Man sneers out loud. Stop pretending. We know everything. Your old house's demolition got you over 10 million RMB. And you lied saying it was only a few 100,000. Aren't you a bit too selfish? Lin Ji also frowns, his voice icy. Su-Wan, is what Su Man said true? Did you really lie to me? You got over 10 million from the demolition. Yet you wouldn't lend me a bit for my project? What do you take me for? Over 10 million. I pretend to be surprised, spreading my hands. Who did you hear that nonsense from? There was no such amount. Just a few 100,000. Someone must have spread a false rumor. Besides, even if I did have that much money, it's still my money. I can spend it however I want. Why should I lend it to you? Lin Ji is so angry he's speechless, his face turning livid. Su-Wan, don't you regret this? When my project succeeds, I won't even let you carry my shoes. Lin Ji snorts coldly. Putting his arm around Su Man, he turns and leaves. Before leaving, he glares at me fiercely. Su-Wan, you're on your own. I watch their retreating backs, and the smile on my lips gradually fades. All that remains is an icy resolve. When they return from the southern hemisphere, all that will await them is a frozen wasteland. Deadly cold, and a despairing death. Having secured all the supplies, I immediately hire trucks to transport everything to my standalone villa. It's a 2-story villa with a massive basement, located in a remote area, far from the city center. It's not easily noticed. It's the perfect choice for building a safe house. Over the next few days, I hire professional construction workers to work overtime. All the windows are replaced with the thickest thermal break, aluminum and vacuum glass. The walls are stuffed with insulation cotton. The floors are laid with thermal layers. The main door is fitted with the strongest security lock, reinforced with steel plates, to ensure it can't be easily pried open. The basement is transformed into a giant warehouse, fitted with professional heavy-duty shelving. I also install 2 high-power diesel generators and several large commercial freezers and refrigerators to store food and meat. In the courtyard of the villa, I install solar panels. Just in case the diesel runs out, I can still rely on solar power, guaranteeing water and electricity for the villa. The courtyard walls are also raised and reinforced. I top them with barbed wire and security cameras, monitoring every movement around the courtyard 24/7. If strangers approach, I'll spot them immediately. After a full week of busy work, the villa renovation is finally complete. It has become an indestructible, constant temperature fortress. The villa is equipped with central air conditioning and floor heating, no matter how cold it gets outside. The interior will stay around 26°C, warm and comfortable. On the shelves in the basement, various supplies are neatly stacked. Rice, flour, meat, vegetables, fruits, canned goods, instant food, daily necessities, medicine, and thermal gear. Everything you could ever need. It is enough for me to safely survive this year's long, freezing apocalypse. Just as I finish cleaning the villa and prepare to get some proper rest, the weather finally begins to change. That morning, after I wake up, I find the outside world grayish dim. There isn't a single ray of sunlight. The wind batters the windows, making a wailing sound. Like ghosts crying and wolves howling, I open my phone and see the weather forecast showing a sudden drop in temperature from 30°C straight down to 10°C. And it's still dropping. It's expected to hit 30°C by tonight, accompanied by a blizzard. Looking at the scene outside the window, an icy smile curls on my lips. The harsh winter has finally descended. Sure enough, before long, fine snowflakes begin drifting from the sky. At first, it's just tiny flurries, but gradually, it turns into massive, feather-like snow, falling densely from above. Very quickly, the whole world transforms into a sea of white. The freezing wind howls, striking the windows with a piercing noise. The outdoor temperature drops lower and lower. Thick ice flowers condense on the glass. Crystal clear, yet radiating a bone-chilling cold. I take a fresh steak from the fridge and place it into a hot frying pan. Very soon, the aroma of the steak fills the entire villa, rich and mouth-watering. I also cook a bowl of pasta, pair it with a glass of red wine, and sit in the dining room, eating leisurely, watching a movie playing on the TV. Life is cozy and comfortable. The indoor temperature stays constant at 26°C, as warm as spring, forming a stark contrast to the freezing hellscape outside. I eat my steak and sip my red wine. There isn't a single ripple in my heart, only the peace of the dust finally settling. In my past life, I was freezing in 50°C weather, begging bitterly, and eventually dying in the snow. In this life, inside my constant temperature fortress, I am enjoying good food, watching movies, safe and snug. This is the meaning of rebirth. This is the life I deserve. Just at that moment, my phone rings. The caller ID says Lin Ji. Looking at his name on the screen, a mocking curve forms at the corner of my mouth. I press answer. From the other end comes Lindsay's hurried, wretched voice, mixed with howling wind and Su Man sobbing. Su Wan. Please? Please open the door. Let us in. It's too cold out here. We're almost freezing to death. I pick up my wine glass, take a gentle sip, and speak indifferently, with absolutely no pity. Where are you guys? We are downstairs at your rented apartment. Lindsay's voice carries a glimmer of hope. Su Wan, we know you are in there. Please open the door. We're going to freeze to death. The water and electricity are gone. We have nowhere else to go. I laugh. The mockery in my tone is undisguised. I'm not at the rented apartment. I am in my villa in the suburbs. But I won't let you in. In our past life, you locked me out, letting me freeze to death in 50°C weather. In this life, I want you to get a good taste of what it's like to be freezing in the snow, crying to the heavens, with no one coming to help you. What? Lindsay's voice is full of shock and despair. Su-Wan, you knew? You knew the extreme cold was coming. You deliberately tricked us. So what if I did? My tone is freezing cold. Lin-Ji, Su-Man. This is what you owe me. I want to watch you slowly freeze stiff in the bitter winter and die little by little. I want you to pay a tragic price for your selfishness and greed. Lin-Ji goes crazy with anger. His voice is vicious. You'll die a horrible death. Even as a ghost, I won't let you off. Then come find me after you become a ghost. I reply with a smile, with not a hint of fear in my tone. All right, I'm done wasting my breath on you. You guys fend for yourselves. Saying that, I hang up the phone. I immediately block Lin-Ji and Su-Man on all contacts. I never want to hear their voices again. And I never want to see their faces again. I walk down to the basement, looking at the shelves packed to the brim with supplies. My heart is filled with a sense of security. I grab a bag of snacks, turn on the TV, tune it to my favorite show, and pour myself a glass of hot milk. Sitting on the sofa, I casually watch the blizzard outside grow heavier and the freezing wind grow fiercer. The outdoor temperature has now dropped to 60 degrees Celsius. The entire city is plunged into darkness and bitter cold. But here I am, in my 26C fortress, eating snacks, watching TV, and drinking hot milk, warm and comfortable. Over the next few days, the temperature drops even further, plummeting to 80 degrees Celsius. The blizzard still hasn't stopped. The whole city is buried under thick layers of snow, without a single trace of life. Occasionally, I turn on the monitors to look at the scene outside. All I see is a frozen wasteland. Sometimes I spot a few ragged survivors walking with great difficulty in the snow, their eyes filled with despair. Soon enough, they collapse in the snow, never to rise again. A few days later, my phone suddenly lights up, receiving a heavily delayed text message. It was sent by Lin-Ji. I was wrong. I shouldn't have betrayed you or scammed you out of your money. Please save me. I'm so cold. I don't want to die. If I could do it again, I would treat you well and never betray you again. Looking at this text, I feel no hatred in my heart, nor do I feel any pity. There is only complete tranquility. Their end was chosen by themselves. It was their own selfishness and greed that killed them. It has nothing to do with me. I delete the message, turn off the phone, walk to the window, and pull back the curtains, looking at the frozen world outside. The blizzard is still falling. The freezing wind is still howling. But there is no chill in my heart at all. Only the peace of a fulfilled circle. The grudges of my past life are finally settled. I don't know how long this extreme cold will last. But I know I have enough confidence, enough supplies, and an indestructible constant temperature fortress. I will survive this harsh winter safely and comfortably, until the day the spring flowers bloom again.